Okay, you can see it, can't you? You can see behind me. You can see that I do not have one cage of books here in my warehouse. I do not have one stack. I do not have cage. Yes, I've still got some stacks. We won't look at those yet. I don't have any cages left in my warehouse. The overwhelming stacks and hundreds and thousands of books is gone. Now, I don't have many orders to pack today. It's only a little day of postage going out, but I do have to go quite quickly on them because I'm running late and Australia Post will be here very, very soon and I don't want to miss the post. So, okay, I'm going to start today by telling you something that I feel really quite disappointed in today. So, where am I? 19. Why did I just put the wrong? Okay, that's not good. I have mucked up. Where's the other label? Why didn't it print first? Oh, no. Okay. For a start, I need to go and reprint a label. Oh, my goodness. Where's the ladybird one? That doesn't even make sense. Where is that gone? Okay, that was not a good start. I really stuffed up my orders. It's because I printed this order separately and printed this one separately, but I did the label separately, but I didn't download the label. So then I didn't print the label. And now I've got to try and... I'm going to cover this one up, but... Okay, so this was the ladybird bungle. Right, now that is correct. Now this book, Realm Breaker. Let's have a look. Realm, right. Okay, I'm good now. I'm back in order. Hopefully, knowing my luck, the camera stopped filming or something with that big long gap. It's probably like out of storage space or something. I don't even know where I was going. I was going to have a little bit of rant about eBay, actually. I don't like ranting about eBay as such. You know, eBay do a lot of good for me, and I'm very grateful for eBay. But today I'm feeling annoyed at them. And the reason is, last month, eBay, Australia Post it was actually, introduced these new satchels for us. They're an extra small mailer. Now, you can see the size difference here between my normal small and the extra small. So they're quite a little bit smaller. They're made of a different material. They're almost like a paper material. And I'm finding they don't stretch out as much. Like these ones are really like you can fit a lot in them. These ones, because they're like a paper mailer rather than a padded mailer, you can't stretch them as much. And what I'm finding is when you slide the books in, if they only just fit, you've got to be careful because they're tearing the paper inside and then they're getting caught. So ultimately, I don't love these mailers as much, but eBay was offering a deal for the whole month of May that if you purchase these, which can't be purchased in store yet, you can purchase them online at Australia Post, but you couldn't purchase them in store. But if you purchase these, you're able to get half price postage for the whole month of May from eBay. That was an eBay deal. You couldn't get that through your Australia Post system. You had to purchase your labels from eBay, from the eBay website. And so most of you will know that I use the Australia Post My Business normally. So it was kind of like a little bit of a muck around. I was having to find the books that would fit into those mailers, then print my labels via eBay. So it was a little bit of a different process that I was using. But anyway, half price postage. It was taking the postage down to $4.28, which is a significant 50% off for an entire month. If you can send quite a few orders through the month, that's a big savings. So I ordered a lot of those mailers. Tom ordered a lot of those mailers, and it was great. We've been doing the 50% off. I haven't loved the mailers, but I have loved the postage discount. And Anyway, last night, eBay suddenly cut the postage discount. And I went on this morning and I contacted them through the phone call and had a phone conversation with them. And yeah, eBay confirmed via their phone call, which I got on recording, that says they've cut the promotion because too many people have basically used the promotion and they've run out of budget. So now they've cut it. So now I'm left with all these mailers because today's the 21st. So we still had like 9-10 days of the month to be able to use these mailers. So I'd bought enough to try and get through the month. Now I've got a stack left. Tom's got a stack left. These are actually more expensive to post than my regular ones through the My Post business, and I prefer these mailers. So why do I want to keep using these? I really don't want to use them unless they're a significant amount cheaper. Anyway, eBay have cut it. So now there's all these Australians are up in arms. The Facebook groups are going nuts with people complaining about this. I think it's really disappointing on eBay's behalf to set a promotion. I'm very aware that probably in their terms and conditions, in the very small print somewhere to save their butts, it probably says that they can terminate this offer at any time. But I think that's really, I don't think that's the right way to go about it. And I think eBay have mucked up with this one. The sellers are upset. Everybody's doing it tough at the moment. Postage is expensive. It was really nice for the sellers to feel like we get something. We often feel like we don't get anything. Like it's always the buyers. The buyers get the discounts and the buyers get the coupons and the buyers get their sales. And eBay finally give us something, you know, and it's not like I'm using every single order for my smalls. And I'm sure that's the same with a lot of sellers. But a lot of sellers were really benefiting this month from having a little bit of a discount on our postage, especially when times are tough. And yeah, I just think it's poor form from eBay. I think it's disappointing. I've just put in a return request for Australia Post for the mailers that I'm not going to use now, because otherwise that's a waste of my money as well, just to have these mailers sitting here that I don't particularly want to use otherwise. So I've put in a return to get my money back on the mailers, and I advise Tom's doing the same thing on his. If anyone else has stuck with these mailers, I think you should try and open up a return case as well. But all in all, I think it's a disappointing move from eBay Australia. Finally, they did something good for the sellers, and I think they're going to have a lot of sellers left with feeling like they got a bad taste in their mouth. Like I feel like sometimes you got to wear the cost. If you make a mistake, you wear the cost. We as sellers do it all the time. We're wearing the cost for things that happen on eBay that aren't really our fault, and we wear those costs. And I don't know, if eBay are going to announce that they're going to do something, damn, follow through with it, guys. Follow through with it. Okay, there we go. A big chunk of Mills and Boon going out there. And I should be going fast because I'm running late today, and I know the post lady is probably due in about 15 minutes, which is why I'm not going through all these orders with you and telling you all about them. But I'm so excited. My warehouse is clean. I want to talk a little bit more about that with you, and about, I guess, the topic of conversation that I'd like to go through for today's video is probably about decluttering. I've got a few areas of my life, I guess, that I want to declutter. Is that the word? I guess there's some, they're not all about decluttering, but they are about bettering my life and everything, I guess. Let me go fast here, guys. That label I cancelled and changed it to a bigger one because they came and ordered more tomorrow. Let me get these in, guys. I'm going to struggle to keep my words while I'm trying to post. I will tell you, it's getting cold in the warehouse. It's very noticeable that winter is coming. So I'm going to make sure this weekend I'm going to go out and I'm going to purchase one of those heated jackets that's got like the battery power pack in it, and keeps all your back warm and everything. That's going to be my purchase. One of the areas that I want to declutter in my life, and I don't know if declutter is the word, but it's like take control maybe, is my finances. I've got some big things coming up that are going to cost money, like everything in life, and I've also got big saving goals. So I want to like crack down on the budget a little bit and start saving money in other areas that I think I can probably cut back on. And so I don't really want to be spending too much on things that I don't need. But I do feel like last year I wished I'd bought one of those heated jackets. And the warehouse does get cold. So I think if I buy that early on, I don't really see that as a want. I kind of more am looking at that as a need. I want to cut back on the things that I want, I guess. And yeah, I think that having warm clothing while I'm working in this warehouse is a need. I did buy a few things last year. Hopefully they still fit me. I think I've gained a few kilos since last year. But anyway, there's a couple of things that I'll need to keep warm this winter. And one of them I think that would be a worthwhile investment would be the heated jacket. Okay, now we don't have many orders today. My sales have been slow, which is to be expected. I'm not blaming eBay for that. I'm blaming myself. The sales have been slow because I haven't been listing. I've taken a little bit of a step back these last few weeks, which has been wonderful, very beneficial, and no regrets, no regrets. I feel like I've got a lot more energy coming back. I feel a lot more relaxed, calmer. Except while I'm packing these orders, while I look frantic. I promise it's just because Australia Post is coming and I don't want to miss the post, guys. It's like first world problems. Now, this is the order I cancelled. He ordered 2 and I printed the label for 2 books, and then he came back just before and ordered another 3. So that means I just had to change the label basically to a bigger label. I'd already printed it, but so I just took a refund on the label that was only going to fit 2 books, and I created another label for fitting 5 books. He's got 5 David Baldacci actually. One Good Deed, Simply Lies, The Simple Truth, Deliver Us from Evil, and No Man's Land. So yeah, I'm so out of the loop. There it is, on the photo station, waiting for me to photograph all these bundles, which I haven't got to yet. And now I don't know where my, what's it called is? Scissors. Oh my Lord. Come on, Mel. It's not ideal to tear it like that. Okay. Fingers crossed I haven't missed the post. Ugh. Okay, done. Okay. I'll be back. Did I miss the post? I missed it 15 minutes ago. Oh my goodness. What day is it? Wednesday. No, it's mine. Oh. No, that's all right. I did miss the post again.
Yeah.
I know. I know. I know. So I missed that post by about 15 minutes. I can't believe it. I knew that I was running late this morning and I didn't even have that much postage this morning. I should have got it done sooner, but I just was doing other things. And anyway, my bad. Doesn't matter. Tom and I will run them up. His staff finish at 1 o'clock. We'll probably go up then for a coffee break, go grab a coffee, drop my post to the depot, and it's annoying, but anyway, it's my fault. It's my fault. It's the one thing I don't like about Australia Post picking up our orders. Like, it is good having them pick them up, but I definitely feel like, I don't know, like I feel like I'm their schedule and not my schedule. And although I like to pack my orders first thing in the morning, sometimes there's other things that pop up that take priority. And then I don't get to do it straight away. And if I'm, you know, we don't have a guaranteed time, okay, she's going to be here. Like, there's a rough time. She comes at a similar time every single day. But I definitely prefer to be on my own schedule, and I prefer to kind of just get my post and drop it at the end of the day almost. Like, then it's just my preference. And I think once the Australia Post opens up another post office here, because the reason why we started getting these pickups is because Australia Post here had to close their main post office because there was lead poisoning or lead or something in the paint, and so they had to shut it all down. And the problem is it's in a historic building, so it's probably got historic regulations around what they can renovate and stuff and what they can do inside this building that I suspect is what's causing them issues. So we have heard along the grapevine that Australia Post here have rented and leased another building that they're setting up currently to turn into a post office, whether or not it's a temporary one or what. And I suspect once that happens, Tom and I will probably go back to Monday. We'll probably keep the delivery here because there's so many orders, and she does come at the end of the day on Monday, which is great. But for the other days, we'll probably end up going back to dropping the post ourselves, just because then we can work on our own time frame and we don't have to be so dependent on their time frame. I noticed my coupons run out, so I need to put on another coupon. eBay comes up with coupon code suggestions. It keeps giving me BFB spring, like we're in this spring sale. Like, it's not even spring here, eBay, it's winter. Can we have winter sale or something? Is it just me, or do leftovers always taste better the next day? It's like the flavour just enriches more or something. Now, this is where I'm at with my waiting to photograph pile. It's a lot. Yeah, I know it's a lot. Now, would you believe that only 2 days ago, I photographed 4,348 photos. So 2 days ago, this waiting to photograph pile was a lot bigger than it is today. And if you think about that, 4,348, I'm pretty sure it was, if you divide that by an average of 10 photos, that makes 400 books that I photographed 2 days ago. So there was an additional 400 books sitting on the floor here that's not here now. So first up, let's celebrate the wins. 400 books down. But this pile of books, some of it has come from the cages. Some of it is just books that have been waiting to list for a long time, but they've kind of been buried in the piles here. Some of the books from the cages I have kept here. I've kind of chosen books from the cages that are feel-good books, books that I feel good about listing, books that are easy for me to list, simple, I don't have to think anything about them, or just feel-good books that I like, genres that I like selling, and sometimes listing books that are a little bit lower priced but are books that I enjoy selling. I think that's really important, because I notice when I'm listing books that I don't really enjoy, or they're subjects that I don't enjoy, or if there's a book that I don't enjoy, I tend to leave it at the bottom and leave it till last. Whereas the books that I feel good about listing, I'll tend to get them listed straight away, because they make me feel good when I'm doing it. So I think for me, there's going forward with my store and ways to combat burnout is not only to be putting more books into my store that actually hit my metrics and are reaching like the price amount that I would rather them be, which is I would rather be listing books into my store that are $30 and above, and trying to lower the amount of like $20 to $30 books that I put into my store. However, I'm still happy to sell books on the lower end. One, if they've got a fast sell-through rate. But two, I've also decided that having feel-good books for me that I enjoy, that actually is important to me as well. I need to be listing a little bit of a mixture of things that I also enjoy. Just because something is higher priced, if I don't actually enjoy listing it, it's still going to sit at the bottom of my pile waiting for me to get to, and I'll still put through all the lower ones. So anyway, that's just something that's a personal decision for me, and I want to be listing some of the books that I feel good about, books that I enjoy, topics that I enjoy, books that I like having in my store, books that I like having in my store because they're easy. There's a variety of reasons. It might not be the most sensible business advice, and please don't take it as business advice, because I know that it wouldn't probably be what's recommended. But if a book has got a fast sell-through rate and a book is something that I like selling, I'm still going to put it into my store. Going forward, there's probably some books here from the cages that they've been put into these piles several weeks ago, and they're still down the bottom. And look, at the end of the day, I've just got to get through these books now. So I was trying to clean this core flute, and I think it's just to the point where it needs replacing. I don't know if you can see this, but it starts to get this black mark on it. And after a while, like, I can wipe it down, but after a while it gets, it just gets hard. And I don't like when you see the photos, when you don't really notice it on the thing, but if you start to pinch and you expand the photos and you come in really close, one of my pet hates is seeing dirty core flute. So yeah, this one has seen its days done. I'm going to keep this one. I have a craft. I know, that sounds bizarre, a craft. I haven't done any crafting for a long time, but I have something that I want to make, and I need some boards to do it, and that will come at another date. Hi.
Whoa, why are you yelling?
I'm not yelling, sorry.
Whoa, calm down. What's happening? What do you got? What's going on?
Just waiting for coffee break.
Well, guess what time it is, baby girl?
Oh, yay. Well, I was just about to photograph, so now this is probably a good thing to get coffee before I actually start photographing, because if I started photographing, I would have got into the zone, and then I wouldn't have wanted the coffee, and I really want a coffee.
Right, all right, hurry up, let's go. I'll see you at the back door.
Are you coming to get me, or I'm coming up?
Well, where are your parcels?
At your back door.
Well, we'll come to the back door then, baby girl.
Okay.
All right, see you, bye.
Bye. Baby girl. It's dark. It's going to rain. Coffee sounds good. I'm ready. Oh my goodness, ladies. Look out. What are you doing?
Oh, I'm trying to open the packaging. Honestly, like...
Is that how somebody sent you something?
Yeah, they did a pretty good
They got a
job.
nice thank you note.
There's a thank you note, there are stickers.
So they've put it into like a plastic wrap. They've put a little sticker on the back, which... What does it say? Love... I can't read it, I have my glasses. What does it say?
Love it, please let me know by leaving a review.
for your purchase and for supporting our business, and any issues, please let me know. If you are happy with your order and the service, could you please take 5 minutes of your busy time to leave us a positive feedback? Much appreciated.
So it was packed like that, then it was in this, then it was in this, and I put a fragile sticker on.
Wow.
I've got to hand it to them. They've gone above and beyond.
It's a bit much, isn't it? I mean, do you think, I mean, that shows me that it's kind of like a new seller when they package like that, because once you get busy, you can't sit like that.
As soon as you get jaded and burnt out,
Well, no, I think it's more like as soon as you get busy, you realise that you just can't spend that much time on packing orders anymore. Is it scratched?
No, that's pretty good. Yep, no, got to hand it to them.
Very good.
They've done well.
Very good seller.
Yes, indeed. So, shout out Maria.
Oh, we got another one. We're opening it up. It's like parcel day. Let's see what this person's. Okay, so they've sent it in a... Is that padded mailer?
It is.
It is a padded mailer. Okay, let's have a look. Does this one... Oh, another... Do you do that in yours?
Sometimes it depends.
Okay.
It depends.
How's the disc? I mean, it's the correct disc. Not bad so far. Tom's quite happy with this one.
I know this seller. They're pretty good. Shout out to Tiger Trading.
Rightio.
So, no, that's pretty good.
Pretty good.
I'd give that probably another 10 out of 10. This one... Right, now, let's see what's going on here. Right, we've got some additional packing inside. That's very good. I like when they...
3 out of 3 people has put some bubble wrap inside the disc. That looks poor for me. I can see that here. Yes, going straight in the cleaning machine. Fail. So, if somebody didn't... If that was just going to a regular person buying and they didn't have a cleaning machine, would they be able to view that? I mean, listen to it? Would it work?
Yeah, it would.
It would work?
Might skip. There's a couple of tracks that might skip on a little bit.
Right.
That's a little bit dubious.
It might skip.
We wouldn't send something like that out. It's hard. It's going to be hard for you to see, but you've got that mark there, and you've got that mark there, and they're deeper scratches. They will come out, but it's not something we would send out like that. So that's pretty good news. So I don't know if you can see that.
So it's salvageable for a DVD seller, CD seller. It's salvageable for you. You can improve it, but going out to a regular buyer, it's kind of subpar.
That's got a little bit of pitting in it. So we'll run that on 4 minutes, see how it goes. Pitting can be a problem. That's when it's like really deep, and a lot of the time from the label side. But yeah, otherwise it's not too bad. Those are some weird stamps I've used, but anyway.
Right, let's get coffee.
Sounds like a plan, Stan.
Tom, how does it feel to be turning 42 tomorrow?
Is that tomorrow?
42?
Yeah, I'm getting on a bit. I was meant to retire at 40.
I remember when it was your 40th.
Back in those days, yeah.
Back in those days, you didn't want to turn 40, and now you turn 42.
Oh, it's bad. I'm starting to lose my hair.
Just now?
Just now.
Just now?
Yeah, 42, it's an age. You get to a point where you actually forget how old you are. So
I don't.
In my mind, I'm still
because
really
I'm
young.
nearly 50. I don't forget.
Nearly 50, yeah. That's a big one. That's like, you get a Golden Jubilee award for that one, don't you?
Is that what you're buying me when I turn 50? A Golden Jubilee?
Sure, one of those chocolates that says Golden Jubilee on it. Here you go. Because you're beautiful.
You're in a really romantic mood tonight. You kept calling me baby girl or something. Now you're singing me love songs. I was going to cheese you.
Do you want some Nutella croissant? Really good. Cheers. Can't believe you got a mocha. That's my drink.
It's a good temperature. It's hot. It's not... I hate when you get coffee and it's like lukewarm and then it's warm. Like it has to be hot.
My lips bleeding.
Mine feels like it's sore as well. I think I'm getting a cold sore.
I burnt mine on tomato. Well, I can't smile with my lip. It's bleeding. And it hurts. It's quite annoying.
biggest problem I've got at the moment is I don't really have any empty shelves. I think I've got one empty shelf. The other day after I photographed like 400 books, I was topping up shelves that like had gaps in them, but it's getting to the point now where I've got a few shelves there that I can top up. But after that, I think I'm going to have to spend a little bit of more time emptying a couple of shelves. And when I say empty, that means stock taking the books that are on those shelves and consolidating them or removing some of those books from my actual store. What I'm going to do is any books that have been listed for a very, very long time, I'm talking right back to 2022, I'm starting to cull through some of those books now from my store. If there's really old books and they're really low end, they're on my lowest end, like the $20 mark, I'm having to make that decision on whether or not I think it's best just to actually pull the book from my store rather than leave it there and discount. I've got some nice cookbooks here, actually. These will be nice for the store, these ones. Some newer stuff going into the store. I've got, I photographed, roughly 400-ish items a couple of days ago. A couple of days before that, I'd photographed some more items as well. So I hate to think how many items are now photographed waiting for me to list. But that's okay. Next week will be more of a listing week for me. I haven't done any listing this week. In fact, I haven't done any listing for a couple of weeks, I don't think, which is why my sales are down. Obviously, the more you list, the more fresh items you've got going into your store, the more new sales that helps to bring. Also, activity brings activity. The more activity you add into your eBay store, the more I do believe that it helps you get sales. So I'm not complaining. I'm not here going, woe me, or eBay's shit, they're giving me no sales. I'm not here to say that. I know that the reason why my sales are down is because of myself. And that's okay, because I made that decision. I actively made that decision to slow down a little bit so that I could feel better, because I haven't been feeling that great and I was feeling very burnt out. So I actively made the decision to slow down a little bit. And yeah, I'm very happy that I did. But I'm also looking forward to putting some fresh stuff into the store and getting through this. Now, it's funny because the other day when I did photograph like 4,348 items, I put it up on Instagram, and I always get, whenever I do that, I get a lot of people like, wow, there's so many photos or whatever. But I kind of, when I'm photographing in batches like that, I find it very therapeutic, because I've worked this out now about myself after doing these cages of books. And I had a really good conversation about how I was feeling with ChatGPT. So ChatGPT is actually a great source to be able to discuss how you're feeling about things. And it really prompts you and asks you, why do you think you've been feeling like that? Or this is why. And it's actually very good. ChatGPT is almost a form of therapist. Sometimes I ask ChatGPT to reply to me like it's a therapist. Now, I'm not saying it replaces a therapist. You know, there's definitely having a therapist is an amazing thing. I've had them before. But I also believe that having a therapist is a little bit of a privilege, because it's very expensive to have therapy. And some people just simply don't get therapy because they can't afford it. And if it was more reasonably priced, I would probably have therapy more often than I do. I do get it when I feel like I need it, but I would probably have it more often if it was an affordable thing that you could have every single week. I think it would be beneficial to everybody to have an hour of therapy every single week. But well, honestly, it's kind of a privilege. So ChatGPT doesn't eliminate the need for a therapist, but it can help you talk through your feelings, and it can prompt you with questions about how you're feeling. And the other day I was saying to ChatGPT in one of my many conversations, and I will just say that if you're not somebody who uses ChatGPT yet, I would highly advise on using it. I use it now every day, talking about personal things, talking about business things, asking for advice. The more you chat to GPT, the more it gets to know you and the better the answers are. So I know some people get frustrated when they first start using ChatGPT and they're like, oh, it was useless and it didn't give me the right information. Well, it's kind of like an employee. You almost have to train it. And the more you work with it, the more it understands you and the better it becomes. And also you have to speak kind to ChatGPT. Don't speak frustrated to it. It actually communicates with you better when you're speaking clearly to it and when you ask for very specific prompts. So if I want to talk to something about my feelings or something, I'm better off to say to ChatGPT, can you reply to me like a therapist? And oh, you're going to think I'm crazy. All the comments will be, Mel needs to go to a therapist. Don't worry, guys. If I need specific help on certain topics, I definitely do go and speak to a specific therapist. Anyway, I was talking to ChatGPT about how I was feeling after the cages had finished, and I was telling ChatGPT that one of the biggest things with the cages was having to make decisions on everything. So when I'm photographing, I don't have to make any decisions. It's quite therapeutic for me because I just get into a rhythm. And when I'm here not talking to the camera, I've got a podcast on or some music on or whatever my vibe is for the day. Like it's normally a podcast, an interview, or some music. And I don't have to think about photographing these books. It's very systematic. There's no thinking involved. There's no decisions to be made. It's just a system that keeps rolling. And I kind of feel like that with my packing my orders as well. I don't have to think about it. I know how to do it. There's a system involved. Once I get up there to pack my orders, it's just a rhythmic pattern system that I'm doing. And I also feel like that with my listing. So I don't actually have any problems listing. I can list like lots of them. I prefer, just like when I do photos in bulk, I actually prefer to sit there and do a few hours of listings all at one time and do them in a batch as well. Because again, I get into that rhythmic flow and that really helps me. But with listing, there's no decisions for me to make, like except choosing a price. And I don't find it hard to comp things and find prices. But the listing process is very easy for me. The thing I find hardest for listing is doing listing every single day because I normally have days that get caught up doing other stuff and then it gets to the end of the day and quite honestly some days I just can't be asked to sit there and list at the end of the day. So I guess that's an issue that tells me that I probably should knock the listing out earlier in the day before I get to the end of the day when I can't be asked. But the problem with the cages, which is I think that the biggest problem was, one, I would come into my warehouse and I would just feel so anxious, right? And then the anxiety causes overwhelm. So I was basically anxious to come in here because I just had this constant to-do list with these cages. And I was anxious walking into such a cluttered mess, right? So when I'm surrounded by clutter, then I become overwhelmed. And being overwhelmed makes me feel anxious. And then when I'm anxious, I kind of all clam up and I don't want to do anything. So the problem with the cages was there was so much decisions that needed to be made. So I'd get the cages and then I'd have to look at the books and I'm going off my eye and a lot of those books were on genres that I'm not familiar with. So I was finding when I was coming across a cage that was a genre that I was very familiar with, let's say cookbooks or let's say self-help books, those cages I would get in and I was kind of like fast moving, excited because I was pulling out books that I actually liked the look of. And then when I was getting to the other cages that were like, I don't know, let's go transport, for example, like trains and boats and stuff that just, I got no interest in those. So I'm looking at those books, I'm not familiar with them, I don't know if they're worth money by looking at them off my eye. So then I'm kind of piling them all up in piles, all the things, because I'm trying to decide by looking at it. There's a first decision. Am I going to price comp this, or do I think it's an immediate no? Then it goes into another pile of the maybe I'm going to price comp. And then I go through those and it's like, okay, I've price comp this one. It's not really worth it. Can I try and bundle it? So there was all these multiple decisions to be made on all these books. And because there was hundreds and thousands of books, it just became like the decision fatigue was what was causing me so much overwhelm and anxiety, I guess, and just that constant feeling of something to do. I couldn't feel like I could accomplish it. I said to ChatGPT, I've realized that I need smaller. The problem with the cages is they were ongoing for months, so I just never felt like I accomplished them. So I discussed it with ChatGPT that I like to do tasks where I can get in there a few hours later, get the task done, and then be like, woohoo, I win, and I can celebrate my wins. But with the cages, I feel like I was never celebrating a win because it was never ending. It was never every single day I was just come in, overwhelmed, more and more and more, and I just felt like I couldn't finish it. When was I going to finish it? Like I couldn't think how long. I could have been doing those cages for a couple of years in realistically, if I'd really gone through them very one by one by one, I could have been there for years doing those. It was a never-ending task. Whereas for me, if I got a pile of photos, it's like, okay, I just have to get through that pile, and then the pile's done, woo, win, accomplish. So I think for me, with my type of personality, probably an ADHD thing, I like shorter tasks where I can feel like I'm finishing them, a bit like a to-do list. Sometimes on my to-do list, if I'm feeling like I'm not getting much done, I will write the dumbest things on my to-do list, like clean your teeth or drink water or, put moisturizer on your hands. Silly tasks, but actually ticking them off gives me a sense of achievement, like I've achieved something. And it's almost like a win for me, and I need those wins. So I think that's where I came unstuck with the cages, and it's a good thing for me to recognize, because going into future tasks now, I'm very aware that if this is going to be a task that I think is going to take a very long time before I feel a sense of win, then possibly that's not the task for me. That's not the task of me. And ChatGPT really encouraged me to celebrate the win of finishing the cages finally. And I don't know if I feel like I finished them because I've onboarded them to the new pop-up shop, but they are out of my warehouse now. I have made the decision. They're done. They're gone. Tom and I have signed on for another month for the pop-up shop, so we're there for another month to keep selling them and keep moving through this stock that we've got. And look, any of the cages that were in here, I finished kind of stacking them up. They're sitting on Tom's truck ready to take over as the next load, as we take some in to the pop-up store, and we're going to replenish some of the ones that are already in there. But I don't even know where I'm going with this. I think, anyway, ChatGPT is very good for working through your feelings and clarifying things that you're not sure about. So if you're just sometimes when you're sitting there overthinking things and you feel like you just need somebody to talk through something while you're there, then ChatGPT is a good alternative for that if you use it. So yeah, if you've never tried that, if you've got things that you're stewing over or that you're just overthinking and you need to I don't know if vent's the word, but it's just asking for some clarification of your own thoughts, because if you don't get clarification of your own thoughts, they just keep going through your brain and over and over and over, and then you end up overthinking, and oh my goodness, it's a nightmare. Now I'm going to shut up. I'm going to put on a podcast. I'm going to find a podcast that goes for about an hour, and I'm going to photograph for another hour and try and eliminate some more of this pile. After that, I'm going to sit down and I'm going to edit this video, which will probably take me a couple of hours. And then hopefully that's it for my afternoon and I am done and dusted. I'm off. Bye.